Okay. Now, I understand that the Greens on your how to vote card are putting Labor ahead of Liberal in Griffith. Why is that?
Well, as you say, we are making a suggestion to people, but we always encourage voters to make up their own mind. We think it's really important that obviously people vote one Green to send that strong message to the big parties to do better on climate, to do better on refugee rights, and to do better on health and education funding. So that can send a powerful message, and then people need to make their own mind up about where they think their vote should go if the Greens candidate isn't successful.
So the Greens have a wide platform nowadays, but what are the particular issues that you think are on the minds, if you like, of the electorate in Griffith?
The issues that have really been raised with me as we get around door knocking and as the campaign's rolled out over the weeks are climate action. People in Griffith were really affected by the floods in Queensland, and they've seen the cyclones brewing over summer. They know the extreme weather events that are coming down the line if we continue to double and triple our coal exports, and if Tony Abbott is successful in completely undermining and repealing our carbon price. So there's a lot of concern in the electorate that we're going backwards on environmental issues, and the Greens certainly agree under this government we are. The other issues that have been raised are, of course, the cuts to Medicare, which people seem just incredulous about. Medicare's been a wonderful institution for 30 years, providing people with the health care they need, and it's almost unbelievable to people that this current government is now considering whittling away that rebate that you get when you go to the GP, making it more expensive to see a doctor. So there's a lot of anger in the electorate about that. And one of the other issues that's been raised with our door knockers is refugee rights and compassion. And this is, of course, the point of difference between the two big parties and the Greens. Unfortunately, both of those two parties are in favour of offshore processing. They've got children locked up, and we're seeing horrific mental health outcomes for those refugees. And of course, we know that we're in breach of our legal obligations internationally. So there is a lot of concern in the community that our governments aren't reflecting the compassionate, decent people that Australians are.
So from being there on the ground in Griffith and talking to other Greens campaigners there, do you have an expectation at this stage of what the outcome in the by-election may be?
Look, it's very hard to say, and I think voters are perhaps a little election weary. They've been to the polls quite a lot in Griffith lately. As you say, traditionally oppositions win by-elections, and I think clearly the Abbott government has made its mark just in its first few months of office with massive cuts. Threats to university funding, threats to the school curriculum, and the complete abandonment of the commitment to implement the Gonski needs-based funding, which there was a lot of support for. Cuts now, reviews into the welfare system, of course the promise to cut the carbon price. Joe Hockey's of course now softening everyone up for a really tight budget, which I fear will continue to hurt families and people who most need the help of our government. So there is a lot of anger and concern in the community, and I think this will be a real test for the Abbott government.
Look, I heard Anthony Ackroyd this morning on radio, who's the AKA the Ruddster, the Kevin Rudd impersonator. I'm very attracted to his policy, not just of a bullet train, but he's promised that if he's elected, he's going to turn up in the Parliament on the first day dressed up as looking just like Kevin Rudd, which I think will scare the hell out of all of us. But seriously, whoever wins, the party that wins will over-egg it, and the party that loses will downplay it. That's the one prediction I can make.